Want to go around?
Look alive, ladies! The boss is gonna join us! Show him how it's done, boss! Your first priority in enemy territory is knowing your surroundings. Your life depends on where you are looking, and how fast you can identify your target. Therefore, you must first master moving your line of sight. To move your line of sight, use the right stick. Now when I give you an order, look in that direction. Look up! Good! Look down! Good! You should be familiar with the up and down controls now. Press the action button if you're ready to move on. Okay! Next, we'll check your left and right. Look right! Good! Look left! Good! You should be familiar with the left and right controls now. Press the action button if you're ready to move on. Okay! You can change the controls anytime in Options. Go with the method that works best for you. Next, I'll explain how to change stances. If you just stand there like an idiot in front of an enemy, you might as well kill yourself now! At times, you will need to get low to avoid detection. You have 3 stances: stand, crouch, and lying down. To change stances, use the crouch button. Tap the crouch button to change between standing and crouching. You can move in either stance. Hold the crouch button and keep it held to lie down. However, you cannot move while you are lying down. I'll say that again. You cannot move while lying down. Is that clear? Good. Next, we'll work on your movement. Use the left stick to move around. Tilt it a little to walk slowly, tilt farther to run. Decide which to use based on your situation. Remember that your footsteps are louder when running, making you easier to discover. Be careful! Good! Now we have rolling. Rolling is useful for knocking down enemies in your way, and for getting away when surrounded. You can also use it to jump over small ditches and other obstacles. To roll, tap the crouch button while running. You got that? Tap the crouch button while running! Don't forget it! That's it! Next, I will explain how to attack without gunfire. You may run into an enemy unexpectedly. You may not have a weapon on you, or you may be out of ammo. You'll still need an effective attack strategy. One well-placed strike and the enemy won't know what hit him. To strike an enemy, press the attack button while standing still. On my command, press the attack button repeatedly and take down your opponent. Go!
I'm ready, boss.
Impressive, boss! Next, we're gonna practice using the stun rod. Hitting someone with the stun rod will shock them with 1.5 million volts. Anyone on the receiving end of that is guaranteed to be out cold. To use the stun rod, press the aim button to ready it, then press the attack button. You'll be glad to know we're using mock stun rods for this training session. When your partner attacks, make him believe it's the real deal. Prepare yourself for stun rod training. Go!
I'm ready, boss.
Fine work, boss! Now, we'll move on to CQC. CQC, or Close Quarters Combat, refers to when engaging an enemy in battle at very close range. It is a quick and efficient way of eliminating a threat. There are various CQC techniques. We will go over each of them. Don't get cocky because you think you know them. This will be different from what you're used to. Pretend you are learning it for the first time. The first technique is throwing your opponent. To do this, position yourself near your opponent and press the attack button while you tilt the left stick. Be sure to press the attack button when the icon appears. Now, wait for my command and throw your opponent. Go!
I'm ready, boss.
Impressive, boss! Next, I'm going to teach you how to restrain an opponent close to you. This is a cornerstone of CQC. Grab hold of an enemy, and the bastard's life is in your hands. What you do from there is up to you. Just know that if you restrain him for too long, the average person will most likely pass out. Something to keep in mind. Let's begin. To restrain your opponent, hold down the attack button while near them. Restrain your opponent on my command. Go!
I'm ready, boss.
Impressive, boss! Now we will throw your opponent after restraining them. To throw an enemy to the ground, press a direction on the left stick when you have them restrained. Restrain your opponent and throw them on my command. Go!
I'm ready, boss.
Impressive, boss! Now we will try CQC against multiple enemy opponents. You can also take out a group of enemies by throwing an opponent you have restrained. First, restrain an opponent by pressing the attack button near them. Then, tilt the left stick to throw them. By tilting the left stick toward other enemies, you can send your captive flying straight into them. On my command, restrain and then throw your opponent. Go!
I'm ready, boss.
That is incorrect, boss! That is incorrect, boss! Fine work, boss! Again! Go!
I'm ready, boss.
Fine work, boss! All right! Why don't we do something special since the boss is here? Anyone who feels like getting their ass kicked, step forward. Don't hold back, boss. When you're surrounded by multiple enemies, you'll have to take them on one after the other. To do it, simply press the attack button again while throwing the current enemy. Just be sure to wait for the icon to appear. Go!
I'm ready, boss.
Fantastic! Again! Go!
I'm ready, boss.
Fantastic! And stop! That's it for today! Thank you, boss! Snake!
What's going on, Kaz?
We've got guests.
Time to move.
Don't worry, it's not our friends from Langley. I brought him. Made sure we won't fall.
Thank you, Big Boss.
Call me Snake.
Sorry, Vic Boss.
Listen up. For us, there is no victory.
But in Revolution, doesn't one triumph or die?
We don't do either.
Here.
Ah, thank you. I feel like a new man. There's no coffee like Costa Rican coffee.
So, what brings a distinguished scholar from the Costa Rican government to Colombia?
Professor Galvez comes from Costa Rica's University for Peace.
You see, over the past year, there have been sightings of an armed group in Costa Rica. They're not ours, of course.
Costa Rica doesn't have an army.
Correct. Article 12 of our Constitution states that the Army as a permanent institution is abolished.
The Peace Constitution.
You think it's rebels who fled Nicaragua?
No, they don't appear to be guerrillas. They're far too organized.
What's your government's take?
The authorities in San Jose claim it's a multinational security firm, hired by the Development Corporation of Costa Rica. Lies, obviously. They're bringing in state-of-the-art weaponry and equipment by the shipload.
Where'd they get that kind of cash?
I fear La CIA may be involved.
The CIA.
As you both know, the United States views Central America as its backyard. Even after Cuba, we've managed to maintain a delicate balance with the U.S.
And your government can't just give them the boot?
We are not allowed to bear arms.
Japan's constitution has something similar. Article 9. It says Japan renounces war and can maintain an army.
I understand that you and your men have neither state nor ideology. That you will fight any foe. Please, you must drive them out of our defenseless country. We come to you, the Militaires Sans Frontières.
So, you want to hire us?
Yes, as our deterrent. We can't afford to pay much, it's true. But we can offer you this. A forward operating base. An offshore plant in the Caribbean.
Sounds pretty good to me. This place is becoming a mess anyway. Snake, we need someplace we can settle down.
The government's agreed to cooperate. Unofficially, of course.
A chopper for transport would be nice too.
I'll see what I can do.
Hold it. You seem to think we're just a pack of dogs of war. Is that right?
Yes, that's what I've heard. You're an army without a state.
No, we've only left our countries behind.
Please, you must help us.
If your suspicions are true, force isn't gonna do any good. You'll have to find a political solution.
The government's hands are tied.
Go back to your bosses in San Jose. Tell them if they want, I'll introduce them to a negotiator I know.
No. I'm not here on their behalf.
So, what are you doing here?
For over 20 years, I've preached the virtues of peace at multiple universities. Tonight, I stand before you as an educator. This is my student. She came to me to study peace. Her name is Paz. Paz Ortega.
Paz. Peace.
No kidding. That's my name too. Kazuhira. It's Japanese for peace. Pleased to meet you, Paz. Call me Kaz.
They've got a supply port north of Puerto Limon, a town in La Costa del Mar Caribe. A few days ago, Paz stumbled upon that facility while searching for a lost friend. She was captured. She's only a child, 16 years old. They did terrible things to her, but somehow she managed to escape.
Oh, thank God.
She's huérfana. Her mother died when she was small, and she lost her grandparents in the Civil War. She hates war with a passion like no other.
My name is Pass, and I will do anything to protect my namesake. It is my one and only purpose. Please, get them out of my country. Make them leave Costa Rica.
Sorry, kid.
We know who you are, Big Boss. That is why we've come to you.
Miller here. Do you copy, Snake? I see you've landed. That makes one giant leap for us. I'm sending this from the offshore plant, our mother base. The signal is unidirectional. I'll be giving you commands and advice through this channel. Keep your headphones on at all times and pay attention. Also, make sure no one else can listen in. Snake, are you clear on the controls? Take a minute to refresh your memory. Use the left stick to move. Use the right stick to adjust your view. To change your settings, use the Start button to open the menu. There's no one around. Why not try some shooting practice? Select a target and squeeze off around it. Press the directional buttons while holding the R2 button to switch weapons. Ready your weapon with the L1 button. Then press the R1 button to fire. How about a little shooting practice? Try hitting a coconut. Select equipment by pressing the square or circle button while holding the L2 button. To check your map, press the Start button to open the menu. The M16 is a standard assault rifle, capable of rapid fire. Not enough room, huh? We'll keep it here at the base. The facility you're headed for is past that fence. A grenade should be able to take out that gate. Grenades explode. You throw them, Snake? Use the L1 button to ready throwing weapons. Once you ready the weapon, throw with the R1 button. When using throwing weapons, hold the attack button down longer to throw farther. You won't throw the weapon until you let go of the button. I gotta thank you for agreeing to this, Snake. Man, am I glad to be out of here. Finally, we can leave all that crap in San Geronimo behind and break into the mercenary business for real. Let me guess. You're doing it for her, aren't you? For her.
Are they still here?
Come on, Snake. This could be good for us. They're willing to give us an offshore plant, a place we can finally put down some roots. This is our chance to expand MSF.
We don't need a place to stay, Kaz. We're nomads. We always will be.
What? You'd rather keep wandering from conflict to conflict? Tools in the hands of whoever's fighting at the time?
The second we settle down, who's to say we won't become the warmongers?
Listen to me, Snake. We're not mercenaries. We're not a foreign legion. MSF's a business. A new kind of business. Look, it's not like we're trying to start a war here. All we need to do is find out who this security company really is.
Come on, Kaz. It's pretty obvious that they're backed by the CIA.
Wait a sec. That would mean...
Our friend, the professor, is likely KGB.
I see.
We'd be making an enemy of our homeland.
And there'd be no turning back.
Ah, this damn thing won't light.
Huh?
Put on some coffee, Kaz. It's time for a little chat with the professor.
I was a heavy smoker. When I got my medal from the Secretary General, he gave me this prosthetic hand as well. But smoking was ruining my lungs, so I quit. I've not had much use for it since. It's quite an honor to meet the legendary Big Boss.
That's just a code name the CIA made up.
Then perhaps I should call you John.
I don't have a name. Stop using that code name you liked so much 10 years ago. What about you, comrade? What do they call you back at Center?
Well then, allow me to get straight to the point. Land as slim as a whip, hot as torture.
That's the Chilean poet, Neruda.
Central America is the navel of the American continents, bridging north and south. We want this land. We'll build a socialist stronghold, then use it to split the Americas in two.
America would lose its backyard.
And with it, its economic production, shipping lanes, and strategic value. We, on the other hand, would gain a base from which all of Latin America would be well within our reach. He who controls Central America will win this Cold War. First comes Nicaragua, toppling the pro-American Somoza regime. In preparation, we've begun instigating anti-Somoza sentiment and providing aid to the Sandinista National Liberation Front.
You're manipulating Sandinista into overthrowing Somoza for you.
After the revolution, Nicaragua will become a socialist state.
You think America's just gonna let that happen?
Certainly not. After all, the CIA is already here.
And that's the armed group inside Costa Rica.
Precisely. It's clear that they've been sent in to disrupt our efforts across the border in Nicaragua. Simply put, the army now stationed in Costa Rica is CIA capital. But it's more complex than that. The CIA's got something else planned as well.
What?
That is the million-dollar question. Big Boss, we want you and your unit to find the answer. Infiltrate and investigate the facility in La Costa where Paz was imprisoned. Learn all you can of their operations. Then, drive them out of the country.
You're asking us to settle a turf war between the KGB and the CIA?
What about her? That was all just an act?
You mean her words about peace? She was captured, that much is true. But I've kept my KGB affiliation from her.
And you thought we'd fall for a sob story?
No. I had good reason to bring her along. She managed to escape with her life, but her friend was not so lucky. Why were they attacked? I believe this will help explain. Perhaps they saw something they weren't supposed to. Perhaps they heard something they shouldn't have.
A cassette tape?
Paz took this during her escape. She says her friend happened to record it by accident.
What is that?
A portable stereo cassette player. The first of its kind.
Ah, I heard they were working on something like that in Japan. Didn't know you guys were too.
I believe what you're about to hear will help you understand.
What is that? A quetzal?
The phoenix bird.
Paz's friend was researching birds. She went out into the jungle to record bird calls and stumbled upon this.
So? So what?
Now it gets interesting.
Poisonous. I need to get rid of it. I chase it back to its nest. You can't. The snake's too vicious. It's all... Many people. I chase it away. It will bite you unless you kill it. Go home.
Boss. Voice print analysis confirms that this voice is indeed that of the legendary hero and criminal, the boss.
What?
The other hasn't been identified. Female in her 30s with a British accent. The song playing in the background was a hit in 1973.
What's it going to be? Loyalty to your country or loyalty to me? Your country or your mentor? Your mission or your beliefs?
I am loyal to
Boss
myself.
is alive in Costa Rica.
As I understand it, she was your commander, fought by your side. And that you killed her under orders from the CIA, thus surpassing her to become the hero known as Big Boss. Well, what'll it be? Will you take the job?
Snake, it's gotta be a trap.
So you still can't turn your back on your country? Then I suppose you won't need this.
Wait! Snake?
I'll do it for the girl. For Paz.
Okay. For peace, then.
There they are. CIA mercs. Snake, you've got to get past them undetected. Avoid combat whenever possible. This is a sneaking mission. Hide behind stuff. Take the long way around. Whatever it takes to stay out of sight. Your gun is a last resort. It could just as easily kill you as save you. To press up against a wall, face it and hit the action button. From that position, you can press the L1 button to detect enemies. That also works while lying down. The percentage in the upper right is your camo index. The lower the number, the more easily you'll be spotted. Conspicuous movements and loud noises will compromise your camo index. Your fatigues will act as camouflage. Looks like you're inside the compound. Security is tight. Stay sharp.
Yes, sir, we broke them. We acquired the whereabouts of target 500.
Acknowledged. Spears are loaded. The barge has cleared Point Bravo.
Acknowledged. Out.
Freeze! The cargo. Where's it headed? What is it?
Air suit! In the mountains!
What's up there?
DJ Gonzalez.
This is Snake. Kaz, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. You found a radio.
It's got a circuit that reverses the audio phase.
Let's switch frequencies from time to time, just to make sure we're not detected.
I found a map of their bases. The cargo's heading from the marshes west towards Irasu.
Nice going, boss.
Kaz, this place is full of film badges. Dozens of them.
Film badges? Like the ones used to measure radiation exposure?
The radio man was wearing one. And whoever he was talking to called the cargo spears.
Wait, that would mean...
Nukes. They're bringing nukes into Costa Rica.
Holy Mother of God.
How's that map, Snake? Think you can use it?
It tells me where their bases are, but it's just a bunch of points. No routes. I need better intel on the lay of the land.
Snake, the professor said he's got the Sandinistas on his side. Said you should get in touch with the FSL and Comandante.
Do they know they're backed by the KGB?
Nah. As far as they know, they're really fighting for the revolution. The KGB is staying behind the scenes. I'm not sure the Sandinistas are aware of what's really going on.
Still can't believe anybody would bring nukes here.
Yeah, that's a shocker. Costa Rica's party to the Tlatelolco Treaty, which declares Latin America a nuke-free zone. Based on Japan's 3 non-nuclear principles, it bans the testing, use, import, or deployment of nuclear weapons. If word of this gets out, Opinol will be forced to act. It'll cause an international uproar.
The treaty was signed to prevent another Cuban Missile Crisis. If the U.S. itself is gonna scrap it...
Latin America is too close to spawning another Cuba or 2 already. The entire continent would become one big powder keg.
Well, if they did bring nukes, we can't let them get away with it.
Are they planning a test? Showing off? Or is it all to keep the anti-American movement in check?
Good question. Why bring them here? I can't figure it out.
Whatever the CIA's up to in Costa Rica, the professor wants it stopped. We need to find out what that something is.
We need to get ready first, Kaz. Repairs?
Working as fast as we can, boss. This place is pretty beat. Looks like hell. But as long as you're with us, we'll make it heaven. No one can bother us here. No state telling us what to do. This is the MSF's haven, our mother base. And with this foothold, we'll back you up even better than before. We're gonna turn this pile of junk into something big. Snake, I rigged that radio so you can contact our young lady friend Paz.
Is she okay?
No need to worry. She's tougher than you think.
Still just a kid.
Which is exactly why she could be an effective source of information. Besides, that little Angel de la Paz is the one who gave us this mission, right?
I guess.
I'll put her on.
Snake.
Paz, where are you?
Ciudad Colon. A school. The teacher told me to stay here until things quiet down.
Teacher? Oh, him. He's... Yeah, that's probably good advice.
See, he has a radio in his room, so we can talk anytime.
Pretty fancy for a teacher.
Promise me, Snake, that you'll bring back peace, and...
I know. I'll contact you if I find your friend.
Thank you. Snake, if you need to know about Costa Rica, the geography, the climate, the wildlife, anything, just ask me. I know about its history and laws too. We learned it all in school.
Got it. I have a question. I'll ask. What?
In school, I also learned that peace is an unnatural state for human society, and that war is a constant threat to our relationships with others.
That's right.
So, to achieve peace, we have to create it ourselves. Crying about it won't bring it about or make it last. Each one of us must go and seek it out.
You won't find it without making sacrifices. No offense, but I don't know what peace is. Never felt what it's like. Never even been interested in it.
Snake?
Oh, sorry. Listen, Paz, I think your ideas are admirable, and I hope they turn out to be right.
Yeah, me too.
Peace is in your name. Who better to help bring it back?
Thanks, Snake. I will be here whenever you need me. See you later.
Snake, use your radio to call people, but stay alert. You're in the middle of a mission and can't afford to let your guard down.
Got it.
Need to know more about Costa Rica? Paz can help you out.
Good to know.
We'll follow their transport route. This should take us straight to their main base.
From what I've seen, it looks like nukes.
Agreed. The key thing now is to confirm whether those spears really are what we think they are, and if so, why they're here.
Follow the transport route. Find the nukes.
That's what I'm thinking. First, we should make contact with the Sandinista Comandante. They can tell us more about what's up ahead. But it looks like their hideout's already come under attack.
We better hope they're still alive.
Snake, infiltrate that cabin and secure the Sandinista's Comandante. Neutralize any guards by knocking them out, putting them to sleep, or even using the Fulton recovery system. You choose how to handle it, boss.
Kaz, what kind of shape is that plant the professor gave us in?
First time I laid eyes on it, I thought it was some kind of joke. It was a giant birdhouse, seagulls everywhere. We eventually scraped off most of the rust and bird crap. The underlying structure's intact. Little elbow grease, and we should be in business.
Who used to own it anyway? Whatever shape it's in now, somebody sank some serious money into building it.
From what I can tell, an American university built it as a research platform for ocean thermal energy conversion. The name's still on some of the rusty old power turbines. I'm guessing they must have had government and corporate assistance to build it too. But they couldn't solve the thermal efficiency problem, and the project was canceled. Then after the university abandoned it, a KGB front company scooped it up for next to nothing. At least that's my theory.
How'd the KGB manage to buy a plant built with American capital, front company or not?
Yeah, that professor is quite the operator. One other thing. The plant's set up so that it can join up with other plants of the same standard.
So, they were originally planning on expanding the place, huh?
Hey, let's give it a shot. We can get some more people together and build this place up into a proper home for MSF. You're with me on this, right, boss? Snake, you can use the Fulton surface-to-air recovery system to send prisoners and unconscious mercenaries you encounter back to Mother Base. I know you've used the Fulton before, but just to make sure I'm not missing anything, let's review the steps.
Okay.
First, attach a balloon to the unconscious enemy or captured prisoner.
Right. I hook a wire to their waist, and on the other end of the wire, there's a helium balloon.
Right. Then we'll send over a chopper to catch the floating balloon with its recovery hook and reel it up into its cargo hold.
And that's it?
And that's it. We finished installing the recovery hook on the Huey.
Wait, Kaz. Something doesn't make sense about this whole process.
This again.
Well, normally, Fulton recovery is for when you're using fixed-wing aircraft. With a helicopter, isn't it simpler to land and pick up directly?
Listen, Snake. You're going to be calling for recoveries repeatedly throughout your mission. We want to keep the risk of taking enemy fire to a minimum. The best way to get that done is to do the recovery in a high-speed flyby. That's what the Fulton surface-to-air recovery system is for.
Uh-huh. What's the real reason?
Helicopters are cheaper, and the repair bills will start adding up once the bullets start flying.
I thought so. Kaz, I know we need to keep costs down, but...
Boss, you really need to get rid of this whole army mentality. We're not the Pentagon. We don't have billions of taxpayer dollars to play with. And besides...
Fine. Just pick a reason that makes sense.
Helicopters have quicker response time. Sounds strange, yeah, but it works great. I promise. You'll get used to it before long.
Yeah, I hope so.
Still can't believe Professor Galvez was KGB.
Well, like the professor said, Moscow's hell-bent on communizing Latin America.
Yeah, the Cuban intel services are all in the KGB's pocket. You don't think he's got some kind of ulterior motive?
If the CIA is up to something, it's only natural that the KGB wants to know about it. But I doubt they're showing us their full hand.
We'd better watch our backs.
What do you think, Kaz? Why did Paz come all the way to Colombia herself?
It's a long trip to make just to be Exhibit A in Galvez's sales pitch. She's only 16. Still a kid. Maybe we should take her wish for peace at face value. Don't forget to give the MSF staff assignments. Where you place people will determine how Mother Base grows.
Right.
That goes for me too. Assign me wherever you think is best.
You? I thought you were second in command.
Don't worry, I've got that covered. But MSF is still small, and I don't have the leisure of sitting around on my butt all day.
I see your point, but...
Not to brag or anything, but I kick ass at whatever job you gave me. Put me in the area you want to focus on developing most. I'll take real good care of the staff there.
Easy, Kaz.
You probably heard this a million times, Snake, but you should always avoid combat with the enemy when possible.
Right.
We're outnumbered and in unfamiliar territory. We won't survive long in a straight fight, even with you on our side.
I know. Avoiding combat is rule number 1 in a sneaking mission.
That's right. Don't let the enemy know where you are, and attack only when necessary, using hit-and-run tactics to cripple them. It's the essence of guerrilla warfare. Going by this map, You've got a lot of different terrain types between you and the hut where the Sandinista Comandante is being held.
Looks that way, doesn't it? Starting with jungle.
The enemy won't be able to see you very well, but your visibility won't be so hot either. Stay alert. Next, you've got the swamps along the river. Make sure you get a good feel for how robust surveillance is before diving in.
Will do.
Finally, there's the boat repair cabin. The Commandante's in there. It's a key enemy outpost, and security is going to be tight. You may have to let brute force do the talking. You still have a long way to go, Snake. Use caution and don't make a racket out there. Got it?
So, are you a student at the University for Peace, Paz?
No, I am still in high school. But Professor Galvez lets me visit his office and study with him every now and then. International law, security, conflict resolution, human rights. We study all these subjects and then use them to build the foundations of peace.
Yeah, I get it. I just never heard the UN had a University for Peace before.
Oh, that. Well, to be precise, it is still being set up. They have started conducting research, but the UN has not passed the necessary resolution yet. Professor Galvez couldn't wait that long.
Oh, right.
Costa Rica abolished its army and has also hosted the Central American Court of Justice. It is the perfect place to build a university like ours. Don't you think?
Paz, you said Costa Rica has no army, right?
Correct. Article 12 of the Constitution declared that the Army as a permanent institution is abolished. It does permit us to organize armed forces for national defense based on inter-American treaties.
Only temporarily, then.
In effect, yes. But in the years since the Constitution took effect, Costa Rica has not once raised an army.
Paz, how does your country defend itself without an army? Especially in a rough neighborhood like Central America.
With the right kind of diplomacy. If we live up to our ideals and earn the respect of other countries, the international community will support us. The 2 times Nicaragua actually did invade, the conflict was resolved diplomatically under OAS auspices.
Doesn't that leave you depending on the U.S. after all?
American influence is unmatched, it is true. San Jose was critical of American policy at the time. But America supported us all the same. It was because we practiced peaceful diplomacy. That is what I like to think.
That's one way to approach it, sure. But there are countries out there who will use force no matter how bad it looks.
Maybe so. I know my way of thinking probably looks naive to you, but it is not like we expect peace without working for it. Diplomacy is a battle in itself, and we have to make the effort to seek out causes of misfortune and nip them in the bud. It was that kind of thinking that got me trapped in their base.
I'm not blaming you. You haven't done anything wrong.
The army was abolished 25 years ago, the year after the Civil War. I learned about the sorrow of civil war from a very young age, the futility of countrymen fighting each other, and the tragedy. Costa Rica learned the hard way. That is why it abolished its army. It decided to pour its efforts into education instead. More teachers than soldiers was the slogan.
Education is essential, no question. Even Che used to teach reading and writing in between guerrilla campaigns.
Costa Rica was poor at the time. We did not have many resources. I suppose we had to pick one or the other. The military or the schools.
Kaz was telling me Japan has a peace constitution, too.
That is right. Apparently, when Costa Rica was drafting its constitution, they looked to the Japanese as a model. Only, Japan's constitution renounces war itself.
Unlike Costa Rica.
But, Japan has a self-defense force, right? That I do not get. I think I will ask Mr. Miller about it next time I see him. He said he used to be in the JSDF.
Huh. You're a curious one, are you? Don't study too hard. What was that you were saying? Peace is not the natural state of men. You said you learned it in school.
That is right. They are the words of the German philosopher Immanuel Kant. In 1795, he wrote a book titled Perpetual Peace. Kant argued that it is precisely because peace is unnatural that we have to make it ourselves.
How?
That is what his book is about. Is the concept starting to sound interesting now?
Not really. I belong in a more natural world.
Is that so? My grandparents died in the Civil War. If only we had been at peace, they would not have lost their lives. You actually wish for war?
It's not like I want to hurt innocent civilians, but if someone attacks you, what are you supposed to do? A country needs the strength to defend itself. Otherwise it faces invasion, oppression, political subjugation.
If they would simply stop using force to tangle with each other, countries would not need force to defend themselves.
And how would you guarantee that?
I...
Sorry, but you have to understand how the world works in order to protect the ones you love. That's not to say ideals aren't important too. They are.
You are right, Snake. Thanks. Peace. Costa Rica's forests are more diverse than you might expect. Not all of them are tropical rainforests. Costa Rica is close to the equator, it is true, but it is also very mountainous.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Go up 4,000 feet in elevation and the temperature drops more than 7 degrees.
There are basically 3 types of forests. The lowlands are covered in tropical rainforests, the highlands by tropical cloud forests, and areas where there is a dry season have tropical dry forests. The lowlands along the Caribbean coast are mostly covered by hot, humid tropical rainforests, what most people envision when they think of jungle. The closely packed trees spread their branches out at great heights to soak up the sun. Their shade makes it dark near the ground, so be careful. Of course, with so little light, few plants can grow on the ground, so it might actually be easier to walk.
So even if you could photosynthesize, it wouldn't do you any good.
Photosynthesize? People cannot do that.
Most people, anyway.
The Development Corporation of Costa Rica, or CODESA, was established 2 years ago. Since President Oduber was elected this year, the state has been putting a lot more effort into development.
The corporate state, so to speak.
Growth is good and all, but there is one thing that bugs me.
What's that?
I cannot help but wonder whether CODESA is not just a front for the CIA.
You mean what the professor was saying about the CIA mercenaries posing as security guards? They were using CODESA as camouflage?
I am worried that development is going to destroy the forests, but I do not suppose it has anything to do with this. This is a tropical rainforest, just like Bosque del Alba. The temperature and humidity can be brutal. El Senegal means place of mud.
No, mud. Great. I'll watch my step.
This area often gets flooded by the river. There are canals here and there carved out by water.
Good places to hide.
But they will also make it harder for you to see. Be careful, Snake. There should be a suspension bridge around there.
In lowlands like this?
The ground nearby is harder and higher than usual. The river cut through it, eventually creating a valley. There might be another way to get across the river somewhere.
I wouldn't want to run into someone on the bridge.
The valley tends to be misty, so you might not be able to see the water from up there. Fall and it will leave more than a bump.
I'll be careful.
When a river floods an area, the banks can collapse, creating a marsh. You see a lot of them around here.
I'll need to watch the noise my feet make in El Senegal.
There is a marsh on the other side of the river, too. The suspension bridge will take you there. The river running through here is Rio del Jade, or the Jade River.
Jade? Are there minerals around here?
No, it refers to the color of the water. You will have to go to Guatemala for jade.
Doesn't look all that pretty from where I'm standing.
We are still in the rainy season, so the river is a little muddy. It will return to normal once the dry season starts. Rivers are an important means of transport around here. They are relatively calm, and there are plenty of canals along the coast too.
A boat would be more than enough to transport some good-sized cargo.
Like a nuclear weapon.
We don't know enough yet. I'll keep looking.
Thank you, Snake.
Head for the FSLN boathouse. It's northwest of there. You can use the radio you just picked up by pressing the start button to open the menu window. You know you can assign the radio to the select button by choosing options from the menu window. Fulton recovery helicopter is complete. Fulton recovery subject confirmed onboard helicopter. Not enough room, huh? We'll keep it here at the base. Fulton recovery helicopter is complete.
Freeze.
You won't have to worry about that one anymore. So long as none of his buddies show up anyway. Go ahead and use Fulton recovery to bring the target in. The boathouse should be close by. Neutralize the security detail and make contact with the Commandante.
Shots fired! Enemies close! Shots fired!
Good. Now meet with the FSLN Commandante. He's inside the boathouse. Fulton recovery subject.
¿Quién es? Eche! No way. What do we do?
Sandinista's right. I'm looking for someone.
¡Mi viejo! Shh. He's dead. They killed nuestro viejo.
You're his daughter. Then that makes you his delegado, right? Relax, I'm not your enemy. Cuban.
A cigar? I'll take whatever you've got. I owe you one. But I prefer cigarettes, you know. How do I look? A little like El Che, no? You Cubano?
Colombiano. A photographer. I came to Costa Rica to take pictures of birds.
Birds?
Yeah, quetzals.
You've got no telephoto lens. How do you get your shots?
Telephotos for amateurs. It's all in the timing.
Oh.
Let me smoke too.
We can talk until I finish this. Chico!
Tell me what's going on here.
This place is crawling with soldiers. They don't look like private security. More like hired guns. They're loaded with the latest gear from all over the world.
I heard they're a security force hired by Codesa.
Yeah, and I'm Papa Noel. Those guys are UCLA's.
UCLA's? La CIA?
I saw them, setting up shop in town. They're planning to do here what they did in Chile.
If that's the case, what are they after?
Whatever it is, it's not us.
You don't think they're here to push you back into Nicaragua?
Impossible. Too much hardware. Too many bases. Didn't you see? They've got helicopters, tanks. It's like we're in Da Nang. There must be something else.
They have a base near here.
There's a factory to the north, across a suspension bridge.
Factory to the north, across a bridge. Have you seen the big transport boat, mercenary crew on the Rio del Jade?
You mean the barge? It's upstream from here. Up toward Irasu.
Any idea what's on it?
I could introduce you to some of our compas up there, but I don't recommend going to the mountains. We've lost a lot of people there. They take us captive, torture us for information about our compas, and then they kill us like pigs.
Got it! All right!
This was our last hideout, the final refuge for El Frente, after being pushed out of Nicaragua and into this peaceful paradise of Costa Rica. Then, El Monstruo attacked.
A monster?
Y mi viejo. Mi viejo. Papa. He was la esperanza. Our hope.
Now that Papa's gone, my sister's la comandante de la revolución.
Do not listen to him. Papa was a hero who fought by Sandino's side. I am only his daughter. You need a special talent to become cacique. It takes someone great to unite all of Las Compas.
Sorry to interrupt, but leaders don't choose themselves. Neither do heroes. You carry on his legacy of La Esperanza, and they'll follow you, no question.
You think so? My compas trust me, but not one of them calls me Comandante.
Amanda!
See what I mean?
El Colibri!
What the hell?
Es un hombre nuevo, an unmanned weapon, a robot!
No, he won't survive the fall.
Out of my way! Better for him to die at the hand of a compa than suffer their torture. Stay here. As long as I'm still alive, I might as well repay. Over here! Fine, Chico! ¡Venceremos!
Snake, what was that thing?
Whatever it was, it looked unmanned.
Unmanned? I'd heard rumors, but an operational unit?
What the hell is going on here?
Not to quote Amanda, but the hardware they've got here isn't just unusual, it's overkill, which means one thing. It's nukes. So the question now becomes why?
We can't make that call yet. We need more intel.
How? Our source is dead.
But his daughter isn't.
Good thinking. We can follow her. Head for the next outpost and make contact with Amanda if she's still alive.
Roger.
The direction Amanda's Sandinistas were going corresponds to the location of the next outpost, a supply depot. We should be able to make contact with her there.
To get to your next objective, you'll need to backtrack along the way you came for a bit. Don't get too comfortable just because you know the terrain. The enemy knows you're out there now. They'll be out in greater force than before. Proceed with caution. Refrain from using firearms unless absolutely necessary.
Looks like I'll have to cross the river.
Yeah. There's a suspension bridge you can use. It's the only way across. You'll have to be a little creative to keep from being spotted.
So, I cross the bridge, go through the swamp, and come to a banana plantation.
Complete with its own factory by the looks of it. It's going to feel a lot different moving through that area compared to the forest. Stay on your toes.
Got it.
Also, you may encounter Sandinista prisoners along the way. Try and save as many as you can with Fulton recovery.
I'll keep an eye out.
There's a lot of banana cultivation along Costa Rica's Caribbean coast. The area is dotted with banana plantations. Bananas have been Costa Rica's main crop since they were introduced from Panama in the 19th century. They bring in a fair amount of foreign currency.
A real fruta de oro, huh?
See, but exporting all those bananas require a ton of land.
Hence, all the plantations.
Clearing all that forest just to grow bananas robs animals of their habitats. I do not know how good that is for Costa Rica in the end.
Careful. They've got reinforcements coming.
I'm seeing things. What was that? I'm seeing things. Huh. What is it?
Fulton recovery subject confirmed onboard helicopter. Fulton recovery helicopter is complete. Here at the base. Amanda went across that rope bridge. Hurry!
Freeze.
Fulton recovery subject confirmed onboard helicopter. You might be able to get past the enemy by hanging from the bridge. Press the action button near the bridge's handrail to hang. Fulton recovery helicopter is complete. Careful now. They might be holding FSLN soldiers prisoner.
Freeze.
Press the action button in front of a prisoner to take them to Mother Base using the Fulton recovery system. Fulton recovery subject confirmed onboard helicopter.
Freeze. Freeze. Freeze.
Fulton recovery helicopter is complete.
Freeze.
Looks like there's no way around him. You up for this, Snake? Listen, boss. We both know you're the reason MSF's grown so much, but it's time we started putting more thought into provisions.
Good point. A place this big needs a good stockpile on hand.
The Japanese say, you can't fight on an empty stomach. Something we learned in World War II.
Obviously. Maintaining a steady supply of provisions is one of the basic principles of logistics.
So I went ahead and set up a mess hall team. The team members' numbers and abilities will affect the amount of grub to go around. Without enough food, morale will drop. They get hungry enough, and we could start losing people. Anyway, I need you to assign guys to the mess hall team.
Copy that.
That's an armored vehicle unit, Snake. Either destroy the vehicle or neutralize the soldiers. Take it out.
Enemy tanks, armored vehicles, and attack choppers are always accompanied by a combat squad. The soldiers aren't particularly tough on their own. What makes them formidable is how well they work together as a team. As if you didn't have enough to worry about with the machine.
Good. I like a challenge.
Yeah. We'll see how you feel when you actually have to face them in battle. Snake, whatever you do, don't let them surround you. The last thing you need is to get pushed into the vehicle's kill zone. And pay attention to what your enemies say to each other. You can improve your chances by figuring out what they're planning and using it to preempt their movements. You don't always have to go toe-to-toe to win a fight. Think like a gorilla.
Got it.
Panama disease was rampant here about 20 years ago, putting a lot of banana plantations out of business.
Panama disease?
It is caused by a type of fungus. Apparently it killed off almost all the banana species that used to grow here.
How could that happen?
Cultivated bananas do not produce seeds. You have to remove and transplant part of the stem yourself. You plant them in the fields.
So you've got acres of identical plants?
See, when one plant is infected, the disease spreads quickly. Species lacking genetic diversity become weak. They grow different bananas today, one said to be resistant to Panama disease.
No need to take out the armored vehicle just yet. Neutralize the troops first. The accompanying soldiers are armed to the teeth. Watch yourself.
Go into alert status!
Keep it here at the base. Keep rations equipped to automatically recover life when it reaches zero. The enemy leader's out cold. Bring him in.
Chico Libri!
Amanda!
Chico.
What? What is it?
Can you roll me one? Tobacco.
Oh, yeah.
Chico.
Hold still.
I treated him like a kid again. We fought. I didn't want Chico to know. Kept it a secret. Somoza's Guardia chased us out of Nicaragua. Across the Rio San Juan. And we ended up here. The only reason we've been able to keep on fighting.
Amanda.
The factory. You saw it?
The banana factory.
A front. It's a drug refining plant. The KGB set it up for us to run. We used the income to buy food and weapons. Mi viejo never said a word, but we all knew. Everyone except Chico. Everything we have. Our weapons, our compass. He brought it all together. We were going to rebuild our country. Rebuild Nika with our own hands. Even if we had to dirty our hands to do it. But it's all over. We lost our cacique. Papa. I could never replace him. Now they've taken the plant from us too. There's no place left to regroup. No way to fight la revolución.
Here, I rolled you one.
What about you? You're going after that cargo?
Yeah.
Must be important,
Looks that way. It looks like it could be nukes.
What? Nukes? Madre de Dios. No time to waste. We must get to Irasu. The transport route leads there. It must be where they're holding Chico and my compas, too. Whenever Chico and I argue, he goes off to be by himself. That's why he knows more than anybody about their bases. Chico.
You're pretty worried about your baby brother.
This is why I'm not fit to be a leader.
Fine. It's a little bit out of my way, but just tell me where I need to go.
There's a prison up in the mountains. That's probably where he is.
A prison in the mountains.
You must do something for me. If you can't save Chico, I want you to ease his pain, end his humiliation. If he gives in, if he's about to sell out his compas, please, at least let him keep his honor.
That's a promise I can't make.
Why?
Amanda, we gave up our homes, but we're still alive. We're still fighting. And there's always another reason to keep on living.
I feel alive again.
Amanda, join my unit until you've healed up.
Your unit?
Yeah.
Who are you? Why are you here?
I'm Snake. Serviente.
Snake? Could it be the great cacique has come to lead us?
Kaz, can you hear me?
MSF here.
One for recovery. She's wounded.
Acknowledged.
Kaz, the cargo on the barge. I was right. It's headed for the mountains.
You think that's where they're taking the nukes?
I'm sure of it. Let's move.
Snake, Amanda's reached the plant.
Snake.
Amanda, how do you feel?
Some first helicopter ride. I'll be perfectly happy if it's my last.
As you can see, she's doing fine. I set Amanda up with her own frequency, so call her anytime you need to.
If you have any questions about American bases or mercenary units, or about El Frente, just ask. And please, do not forget my compas and Chico.
Don't worry.
It's good to be working with you, boss.
Snake, we can monitor her condition in sickbay. Remember to assign roles to any POWs you bring back to Mother Base. How this outfit gets built depends on who we assign to what jobs. That'll determine how Mother Base grows. It's one of your most important roles, boss.
Yeah, I know.
Boss, one more thing.
Now what?
It's about sickbay. Naturally, we can use it for the sick or injured like we did with Amanda. But we can't expect people to get better without the proper treatment.
Uh-huh.
So I figure we'll need a medical team for that. The number of team members and their abilities will determine how quickly the sick and injured heal. They can also monitor everybody's health.
Right. Prevention is the best medicine.
You got it. Remember to wash your hands often and gargle twice a day, boss.
If only I had the time.